What happens when encrypted messaging, designed to protect privacy, is used to discuss classified military strategy? In March 2025, it led to a national security breach. Top U.S. officials were using the Signal app to coordinate plans for military action in the Middle East. But one critical mistake changed everything. They accidentally added a journalist to the group chat. He read the messages. He published them. And the story made headlines across the country. This is the Signalgate scandal, and it exposed far more than a single operational error. At Quantum Cyber AI, we explore the intersection of encryption, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. And this story perfectly illustrates how the misuse of privacy tools can create vulnerabilities at the highest levels of government. So let's walk through what happened and what it means for the future of national security. The timeline is short and explosive. On March 11, 2025, a Signal group chat was created by senior national security leaders. 4 days later, classified operational plans were shared within that chat. And less than 2 weeks after that, The Atlantic published a redacted version of the conversation, leaked by the journalist who had been mistakenly added. The individuals involved: Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. This was not a fringe conversation. What turned this into a national scandal wasn't just the leak, it was the use of a disappearing message app for official communication. It eliminated any record of the conversation. There was no audit trail, no ability to verify who said what and when. This wasn't a hacker breach. It was a communications failure. Encrypted apps like Signal, Telegram, and WhatsApp offer end-to-end encryption. That means only the sender and recipient can access the message content. Not even the platform can read it. For many users, this is an essential safeguard against surveillance or censorship. But in a government context, these tools introduce serious challenges. The first is compliance. Public officials are required to retain communications under the Federal Records Act. When messages vanish by design, that's impossible. The second is oversight. Encryption prevents even internal security teams from monitoring conversations unless they're part of them. And the third is context. Just because the content is hidden doesn't mean the communication is. Metadata, such as the time, frequency, and participants of a conversation, can still be collected and analyzed. Signal doesn't store this data, but device-level logs and network traffic still provide clues. And that's where AI comes in. At Quantum Cyber AI, we've written extensively about how artificial intelligence is being used to infer behavioral patterns from encrypted communications. You don't need the content of a message to understand that two officials spoke 27 times on the eve of a military operation. That's a pattern. Tools like generative AI also pose new threats. Fake screenshots, deepfake audio messages, and synthetic message logs can be used to fabricate leaks. And inside closed apps with disappearing messages, verifying what's real becomes nearly impossible. There are also historical parallels. Encryption-enabled communication has been exploited in the past. During the 2015 Paris attacks, terrorists coordinated using Telegram. Protesters at the January 6th Capitol riots used Signal to avoid detection. Drug cartels regularly use WhatsApp to coordinate logistics. These tools are neutral, but their misuse isn't. So what's the policy response? Some lawmakers have proposed legislation like the Earn IT Act, which would make platforms more accountable for the illegal activity they enable. That includes encrypted content. But civil liberties groups push back, arguing that regulating encryption amounts to breaking it and puts everyone at risk. Others call for stricter device-level controls. For example, limiting encrypted messaging apps on government-issued phones, or mandating the use of government-controlled secure platforms for all sensitive communication. Still, the core issue isn't encryption itself, it's misuse. That's what happened in Signalgate. Government officials used the wrong tool, in the wrong way, for the wrong conversation. So what can be done? First, agencies need clear internal policies. If encryption is allowed, it must be auditable. If disappearing messages are used, they should only apply to conversations not subject to retention laws. Second, we need better training. Most officials don't fully understand how these apps work or what the legal implications are. Third, we need smarter incident response. When leaks happen through encrypted channels, they're harder to investigate, but not impossible. AI-driven metadata analysis, forensic network logs, and behavioral mapping can help reconstruct what happened. Finally, we need a broader public conversation about the balance between privacy and accountability. Encryption is essential for civil society, but it can't be a loophole for public officials. At Quantum Cyber AI, we believe privacy and security can and must coexist. But that requires better design, better policy, and better awareness. If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe to our channel for more insights on cybersecurity, AI, and digital risk. Drop a comment below. Should government officials be allowed to use apps like Signal for official communication? Where do we draw the line? Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay secure,